Welcome to the Savvy Property Investors Podcast, a weekly show that delivers the best hard-hitting property industry news, business advice, and talks that will get you ascending in the real estate industry. Now, here's your host, the amazing award-winning property and business coach, best-selling author, and serial entrepreneur, Miss Sapphire Gray.
Hello and welcome to another week of the Savvy Property Investors Show. Today we're talking about the secrets to scaling your business. And we have a special guest in our studio today. So hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Savvy Property Investors Show. This show is for newbies, seasoned property investors, coaches, consultants, or even trainers who want to become savvy investors and build a legacy for you and your loved ones. My name is Sapphire Gray and I'm your host for this week. Every week I will bring you different episodes talking about property investment or various business topics on how you can grow as an expert. Sometimes we interview clients so that you can learn from them, and we also bring in specialized speakers from the property or business world. Today we're talking about the secrets to scaling your business. Do you know what these secrets are? Well, all will be revealed in a minute. Before I introduce our guest, I want to remind you of a couple of things. If you are new to our podcast, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any further episodes. If you haven't already downloaded the Property Investors Toolkit, make sure you go ahead and do that now. You know that following in the footsteps of someone that has already created wealth through property and business is the way to learn. Maybe you are a struggling entrepreneur and want to know different strategies in which you can use to fulfill your property or your business dream. So go ahead and download the Property Investors Toolkit for a good price today of £37. You can find that link on our website at www.savvywomen.co.uk. And if you scroll down in the show notes, you will also find a link there, which will be easier for you to access it as well. We also have our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube, where you can also download the link and learn more about our services in which we can offer you. So it's now time to introduce our guest today, Paty Soares. Paty Soares is a strategic partner and small business consultant. She is the founder of Paty Soares Consulting. After years exploring right or left brain roles for small businesses to corporates, including IBM and Siemens, Paty started her business support to create high achievers by being their strategic sounding board and giving them the roadmaps and steps necessary to get there and make their vision a reality. Her mission is to support entrepreneurs who are scaling up and bringing order and actions into creative thinking so you can shape your business to suit you, your goals, and also your lifestyle without that compromise on the profit or growth. Paty focuses on developing a strategic growth plan, operations, and creating high-end services delivered experience with a holistic approach in all areas of business. You can spend your time doing what you love and spend your time making business simple, easy, and satisfying just for you. When not working, Paty is painting, reading, planning the next destination, or watching some live music around town. She believes that everyone is unique and there is no one size that fits all. Well, we all know that, don't we? When it comes to business, so creating a business that fits your lifestyle is the key to sustainable business growth and a sustainable business you. So, Paty, your CV is remarkable, your bio here. I can't wait to get interviewing with you. So here we go. I'm Sapphire Gray, your host. So let's get started. Paty, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure you being here as well. So before we start our questions, I've just gone through your bio and it's absolutely exceptional. And I totally agree with you. No one size fits all. And a lot of people try to shoehorn people into different circumstances. But I know from your experience that isn't the case. So when you're looking at scaling your business, what do you actually mean by that?
So it's scaling, it's all about leveraging what's already working, right? So when we talk about scaling, it's really bringing that boost on revenue without suffer, without pain. So when you're scaling, it means you already have laid out a strong foundation, which allows you to make more money with ease. So it should be easy. Scaling
Yeah.
should be easy. The hard part is growing.
And that leads me into sort of a follow-up question on that. What is the difference between growing and scaling? Because some of our listeners and viewers may think, well, isn't growing the same as scaling? So what's the difference?
So the difference is that basically when you're growing, you're adding things, right? So you're setting the foundations on your business. You are putting the right systems and processes in place. You are hiring the right team members and etc. So it's really it's a process. So there's a lot of work that goes into growing. So you're growing your revenue, yes, you're getting more business as well, but at the same time, you are working and growing your business on the back end. So
Right.
it's kind of like it's a it goes all together, right? The same amount of revenue growth, it's almost like the same amount of work that you have on the back end to grow as well and to put everything in place that will support that new demand. While when you're scaling, you already have all of that set because you've been through the growth phase. So it's just really picking up on the revenue on like and taking the business to the next level. And literally it's more focused on the amount of money that you're making when you're scaling,
Yeah.
and not the amount of work that you have to set up on your business to make it, you know um, in a way that will fulfill that new demand.
Excellent. So say for instance, you just talked about growing. I've grown my business now, I've got my staff in, I've got all the platforms that I need to make my business function well. When do I know that I'm ready to scale then?
So it's very simple. So there are three basically steps, right, to know if you're ready to scale. So there are people, processes, and offer. So you need to know that you have the right people on your team that's going to support that next phase. You need to have your processes and systems needs to be streamlined and working. So meaning your business needs to be running as a well-oiled machine, and you need to have a scalable offer. So your offer needs to allow you to also make that boost, right? To also scale that business. So it's really like evaluating all the areas. And when I talk about processes and systems, it's front end and back end, meaning it's marketing and operations. So
Right.
everything needs to be running well in order for you to scale. So you can ask yourself that, right? If tomorrow you get 100 new clients, do you have what you need to take them in without
Right.
pain or
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Excellent. Because that's another thing. When you're processing your business and you're looking to scale, you've got to make sure all those things in place. Because just like you said, if you took on a new sort of batch of clients, 100, can you take them on without any stress? You can just literally say, yep, I can take them on, or will you feel stressed? A lot of products that are marketed nowadays as well, some people send out a product overnight, not realizing how much people are going to be buying that product, and they're not ready to scale
Yeah,
financially or emotionally. And that's what sometimes puts the kibosh on a lot of businesses, because they haven't got those facilities, as you said, those processes in place. They've got the offer, but they haven't got the team behind them, and they haven't got the processes, and that can really have a detrimental effect on your business. So it is to make sure that you have those in place. So
exactly.
what do you need to prepare yourself then?
Well, there are a couple of things, right? But I would say like the first thing is really take a deep look at your business and be honest with yourself when you're doing that evaluation, because you need to have a clear picture of all the things, like everything on your business. Like you need to know exactly how it is. You need to know if you have the right people in place, and you need to be honest with yourself if you have the right people in place or not. You might have the right people, but they might be on the wrong spot.
Yeah.
on the wrong role. But really look at that. Look if you have the processes and in place to support that, and to and the systems as well that's going to support that, and the right offer. Right. So that's the first step, is really take a deep look in your business and being honest with yourself when you're doing that assessment, to make sure if you have everything in place. Then if you do, or if you don't, the second step is planning. So you need to know, you have now the clear picture. So you
Hmm.
need to look, okay, what's my vision? What scale means to me? Where do I want to get? Right.
Right.
And then create that plan. So
Mhm.
you're either creating a growth plan that's going to get you to the point B, which is getting ready to scale,
Yeah.
or you need to have the vision of scalability, like what does that mean to you, and where do you want to go.
Excellent.
um, so when we talk about growth plan, I'm talking about like your future org chart. Who do you need to hire? Or what changes do you need to make within your current team
Yeah.
that's going to support that growth, right? Your marketing and sales, like, you need to have consistent leads in order to scale. I mean, that's it, because again, scaling, it's about boosting that revenue, right, and growing as well. So like, do you
Yeah.
have consistency when it comes to getting leads to your business? Do you have like a consistent marketing plan and sales in place? And are all your processes and systems streamlined and working well and functioning well? Or what do you need to develop? Right.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a strong lead generation system right now, and you have yourself, it's the salesperson, right? And your sales process requires a call. So if you're looking to grow into scale, that means you're going to have to grow a sales team, because you're
Mm.
not going to be the one, doing all, like, you can't do all the
Yeah.
calls, right? So it's really looking at the details and like creating that plan to know exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah.
And then step three, it's implementing that growth plan,
Yeah.
because a plan doesn't do anything for you, right? Like, you actually need to put
True.
into the work and make the changes that needs to happen to support you. And then once you have implemented the growth plan, then you're set to take fly and to get into that scaling stage,
Yeah.
or to really, just get your business boosting.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that there's a lot of listeners and viewers on our platform that may just be solopreneurs.
Yeah.
At what stage then do they look at? Because they may have the systems in place, they may have the products in place, but the missing link will be the team in place. So how would they deal with that as well?
It really depends on what offer they have, and what scaling means to them,
Yeah.
right? So like, for example, if they have a digital course that
Mm.
they want to scale, then the focus would be most likely on that lead generation and marketing system, and also on the customer support as well on the back end.
Yeah.
So scaling means getting more marketing, getting more leads, getting more sales, and supporting them on the back.
Yeah.
And also, not just that, because if you have one course and you want to scale, you can build a product suite, right, an offer suite that's going to allow you to upsell to your current clients, and to kind of
Right.
like continue making sales to those people that are already your clients, right? So
Mm.
that's one way of scaling as a solopreneur. So it really depends on what the offers they have
Yes.
first, to see the people, because like, it doesn't mean that you need to hire a team,
Okay.
but you need to hire probably subcontractors or experts that are going to do some of the work for you.
Excellent. So what is the different ways of scaling online business when it comes to the offer?
Yeah, so let's say, there are different ways, right? But if you look at scalability when it comes to the offers, it's like, it needs to be an offer that is a one-to-many offer. What's kind of the term that's most used, right? Which, if you're a coach, might mean a group program, or might mean running an event, a retreat, or
Yeah.
having a membership, right? However, that could also mean having an agency.
Okay.
And that's something that most coaches don't think, like, how would I have an agency as a coach,
Yeah.
right? Well, you can have other coaches doing one-on-one. Like, why not?
Yeah.
If you have the right system in place, if you've trained them, like, you could have a coaching agency, right? um, or you can also grow into the digital products route, which is like having courses, downloadables, masterclass that are pre-recorded, and like all those different areas basically. But in generally, like what it means is having an offer that allows you to serve a good amount of people at the same time.
Time. Yeah, and really believe in that, serving one to many rather than one to one. One
Yeah,
to one can be quite energy taking, sucking, and it can really pull on your energy. But when you're doing it to many, it's
yeah,
just to many you're doing it to. You're not just serving one person, which I think is a better way of performance. If people want to do one to one, then you can offer that choice. But doing it to many, it really does work. And I think it builds a community as well. When you're building out your business, you want that community feel around the people that you're working with.
exactly.
Excellent. So you've given us a plethora of information already, like how to get ready to scale your business. What does it mean to scale your business? And, what's the difference between growing and scaling? So join us after the break with more insights from Paty.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button below. Our podcast is only made possible by great listeners like you.
And welcome back, Paty. Thank you so much for giving us a wealth of information before the break. So what would you say is the number one or the biggest mistakes that you can see that comes with scaling your business?
I would say the number one is changing strategies. So
Mm,
we get all, this shiny object syndrome. There are a lot of people out there talking about, well, you should scale in doing this or doing that, or like giving you all the different options. So then you decide to change strategies when you're scaling. That's often the number one mistakes that they have, because again, scaling is leveraging what already works for you.
true.
So when you build the business and when you're growing your business, you're testing things out. Like
Hmm.
it's a constant improvement process, right? And you're always testing. Scaling, it's like, again, you've tested everything. You know what works for your business. So how can you leverage that? How can you exponentiate what you already have? So it's not the time to change strategies. It's not the time to put something new in place. It's the time to maybe, make some tweaks to what already works so you can, serve more people on that phase. But don't go out changing completely what you have done, because if you're scaling, it's proved that what you are doing works. So
Absolutely.
leverage that and just make sure that you're exponentiating it and not changing or go chase some other shiny object. Because if you do that, that's usually when we see the business actually take a step back.
Mm,
And usually it also comes with a lot of money being wasted, because if you go into this route of changing strategies, you probably hire people to do that work for you.
yeah.
And then you're testing something new that you don't know if it's going to work for you or not. It might work, it might not.
Yeah.
So then again, it's not truly scaling, right? You think it is, but it's not. So just leverage what you know that already works for you and exponentiate that. So then you can exponentiate the results.
Yeah, I'm going to do an analogy because a lot of my students are property investors. And every time they will hear me, and I know you're out there, will say, concentrate on one strategy only. Build that strategy out. So if it was a HMO, house of multiple occupation, then I would say, look, scale that out one property at a time. Then you can have 2 properties and then 3 properties. That's scaling.
Yeah.
It's not sort of like, all right, I've done one HMO, let me now go into flipping or let me go into commercial. No, you're hopscotching, and you're absolutely right. It is time and it's definitely going to be money. Don't chase down the shiny objects. Don't think that something else is going to make you that millionaire. Concentrate on one thing at a time, process that, and then once you start scaling it, then you can look at further opportunities linked to that strategy that you've become very proficient in and really good in. It's like Tesla. Tesla wouldn't go and do a car and saying, right, this is a new car, and move away from Tesla. No, they're just growing and scaling and making
Exactly.
models and different things that comes with different series of their car. So they wouldn't just jump to another low end car. They would absolutely concentrate and build that out. So thanks for sharing that. Can you talk a little about long term and short term strategies then?
Yeah, so I think the easiest way to explain long-term and short-term strategies is looking at marketing, right? So like if you're looking at a launch campaign, if you're looking to launch a new offer, or if you're looking at your social media strategies, they are short-term. And why is that?
Mhm.
Instagram posts, the lifespan of an Instagram post is 48 hours.
Yeah.
So it's really the things that you were doing. So basically the short term, right, when it comes to marketing, is the things that you were doing to bring clients right now, to
Mhm.
attract leads to your business right now. So it's the day to day. And but then when we look again, it's still within marketing. When we look at long term marketing strategies, we're talking about SEO traction, for example. So because you are optimizing your website for SEO, you're
Yeah.
maybe having a strong blog, post that is SEO optimized. Why? Blog posts have a lifespan of 2 to 3 years in search. So you see, like you go for 48 hours, like a content, it's a piece of content,
Yeah.
right? So you can create a piece of content for Instagram that's gonna last you 48 hours, or you can create a piece of content for your blog and optimize it with SEO and have all of that working, that's going to last you, that's going to live for you for 2 to 3 years, bringing you results. So that's the difference. So we really need to have a mix of both short term and long term strategies, and not just marketing on every area of your business. So when you think like when you're strategically planning your business, you need to plan a mix of both,
Mhm.
because truly the long-term strategy is what is going to keep you in business in the long run.
True.
The short-term strategy is what is getting you that traction and what you need in the now to make it happen so you can continue, right? So you
Mhm.
really need to have a mix of both.
Excellent. So, as a business owner, is there something that people need to work on when it comes to their personal development in order to have that growth and then that spurt of scaling?
Well, there's a lot of things that people needs to work on. But I would say, the number one for me is leadership,
Yeah.
and then followed by time management and organizational skills and emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And why? So there's like online, at least I see a lot, people are saying, oh, you're a business owner, you are a visionary, and need to be on that visionary spot and whatnot. And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, that's true. But the minute that you are a business owner, you are a leader.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's something that like we don't see much fuzz about online, right? But the minute you are a business owner, you are a leader. You are the leader of your business. You are the leader of the team that you're bringing in to
Mhm.
support you. Like you cannot replace you or replace your leadership in your business, right? No matter what role you're in, it's
Mhm.
your business. But leadership is not a skill that we kind of like we're born with and then we know how to do it and rock and roll it. And not it is something that you need to develop daily. Like if you don't have, depending on your background, you might not have any leadership experience at all, and you're now into like leading a business. And then sometimes, like on my space at least, there are a lot of business owners that hire online business managers, and they delegate the leadership to that person, which is okay.
Yeah.
Who is going to lead the online business manager?
True.
Like,
True.
and that's something that like they don't consider, right? Like you need to lead that person at least, so she can do, or she or he can do their best and lead the rest of the team, right? So like leadership is the number one skill that I say everybody needs to develop as a business owner. And then planning and organization. I mean, business is all about planning. Like you can't
It
just
really
wing it
is.
all the time.
No, you
Like
can't, and you shouldn't even attempt to wing it.
exactly,
You've got to make a plan, because in order to be successful, that plan needs to be in operation. And that's why I say, even a one-page document, and review it every quarter. You should review your plan to make sure that your business is functioning how you want to. Absolutely agree with that.
exactly. So like planning or organization, like time management, it's essential for any business owner to know. And again, it's not something that some people are naturally inclinated to, some people are not. Usually the business owners, the visionaries, they're not inclinated to time management and organization because they are creative people. And then there's kind of like, you need to find that balance for you, right? And then the emotional intelligence, again, anything, we need emotional intelligence for anything in our lives, and especially business. Business is hard.
Of course it is.
It's hard. There are times that are harder than others. Like if you are, you might be a solopreneur, but then you have subcontractors, you have people that you kind of like hiring to help you on a one-off basis, but you need to deal with them. Like the problems are going to come, right? And how do you get out of any situation in a good place?
Yes.
Right. And then how can you deal with all of it that comes with owning a business and dealing with all those people and with the changes in the online space and whatnot? So, I mean, it's fundamental.
And I always say, when you come across a problem, there's always a solution. Someone before you and someone after you will have that same, if not worse, problem. So it's not to sort of give up on your aspirations and what you want to do. It's to find a community that can be very supportive towards what you want and have that bouncing field as well. And when it comes to scaling or building out your business, those time management skills as well is about hiring someone to do what you don't love. Because sometimes you're going to put yourself in a situation, oh, I don't love admin, and won't do the admin. And it's the administration of your business that's making you have more business. So if that's not on point, then your business will fail. So if you get somebody in and says, you know what, this is what they're very good at, I'm very good at speaking to my clients and being a leader and team building and all those good things that go with it, then get somebody in to do what you don't love. And it doesn't cost that much. You can hire on an hourly basis, hire from abroad, hire in the UK, wherever you are. You just need to, if you don't love it, get someone else that does.
Yeah, and honestly, to complement that, I would even say it doesn't need to be a business task.
No.
So, for example, I don't like to cook. I'm not a cooker. No, that's something that I don't enjoy, and never did. So, if I had to spend 1 or 2 hours of my time in the kitchen cooking food, we need to eat, right? We all need to. So, like, if I had to spend that time cooking food, a meal for my family, like that is something that depletes my energy. And I wouldn't have, first of all, I wouldn't have that time to spend on my business. Right. And then when I got back, I wouldn't have the energy to really do it because that particular home associated task would have drained me. True. So you can also delegate with things outside of your business, but that's going to support you. That's right. True. Because if there is something that you're doing, like maybe it's house cleaning, maybe, I don't know, right? If there's something that you're doing that like you just hate it so much and you don't want to do it, and you have now, because of your business, you have now some income that you can put to that particular task, it's also an investment. It's also a business investment because it allows you to dedicate that time to your business and to be in a good space.
Yeah, you make an absolutely good point there, because I always consider, when I talk to clients, I always consider not only your business aspects, what is your personal aspects? And you just said you don't like cooking. I love cooking, by the way.
I'm lucky that my partner loves so he does the cooking.
But it's very true. Getting a cleaner in just to stop you from panicking over that, or getting somebody that can cook, or any of these things, or somebody in the house that likes to cook. And that's why I say, talk to your friends, talk to your family, tell them what you're doing, explain to them, I need a help or assistance in these areas. Can you support me in that? It doesn't necessarily have to be support within the business. It can be on a personal support. And once you get able to navigate that and get that, especially if you've got children, when I was growing my family, when I was younger, I had the support of my sister. So I was able to concentrate on a business and had her as my support system to look after the kids. So if I had meetings and things like that, she was always there to take the kids, and then I can do what I'm doing. If I didn't have that support system, I don't even know where I would be, because you do need support. And that's why I say always find forums, communities on social media and everything that can support you, can give you advice. Ask the question. Don't be shy to ask for help, because that's the key to really growing your business and then really being able to scale it. Because once you get the help, you know that you can go forward and do really well. So just to our last question, what does it actually take to then scale your business then?
What it actually takes. So I'd say number one thing is strategic planning.
Yeah.
Like you can't scale a business if you're not being strategic with your planning and with anything that you're doing. So I would say that's the number one thing. Second is vision. Like we need to know where we want to be. Like why are you scaling? What are you trying to achieve? Like what is really the vision behind it, right? Because the vision is going to support the strategic planning.
Absolutely.
If you don't have the next step, like how are you gonna, like where are you trying to get? Where are you gonna, what are you gonna plan for?
True.
Right? So it's kind of like goes together. And then organization and support.
Excellent.
That is it. Like you need to get your head straight. You need to be organized. You need to know what's going on. You don't need to do everything yourself, but you do need to know what's going on. And if things are moving and like tracking progress, because most people don't track progress on their business. You need to track progress, but in order to track progress, you need to have a plan and you need to be organized.
Excellent.
Right? Because how are you going to track progress in that way? And support. Like we all need support. We are human beings. Human beings we're made to be around people.
Yeah.
Right? And being supported, and like we just said, either within the business or outside of the business, but like having someone or a group of people supporting you, it makes all of the difference.
Love that. So Paty, how can our listeners contact you and learn more about the services that you offer?
Awesome. Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. And my handle in all the three platforms are at I am Paty Soares. Or on my website, which is www.patysoares.com.
And you are lucky listeners and viewers because Paty's offering a free resource. So please go ahead to her website and it's patysoares.com/map -2-success/. But don't worry, it will be in the show notes. It will be out on our social media platforms, so you can go ahead and download this free resource. Paty, it's been an excellent show with you. I really enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out Paty and this interesting interview. Thanks for being here on our show. I really appreciate your time. It's been an absolute pleasure for you being here. I hope you listeners go out and really turn your dream into a reality and make the use of what we've discussed today. Being able to grow your business and then to scale it is the opportunity here. Paty's shown you the secrets of how to do this, and now it's over to you. Don't forget, you can join communities. You can reach out to Paty as well, and you can reach out to us as well if you need any support in order to get a better understanding of scaling your business. I'm sure Paty will be available to you and you'd able to book an appointment with her and, go through what your business requires and how you can do it. Thank you again for joining us and listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, download, and share. And I will see you next week on the Savvy Property Investors Show. Thanks for listening.
This week's episode of the Savvy Property Investors Podcast was brought to you by our sponsor, the Savvy Women Group. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's show, head over to our website, www.savvywomen.co.uk, to gain access to our free resources and more insights about our guest speaker today. Remember, we make your business our business, so you can unlock your full potential and improve your quality of life.